Welcome, Bruchim Abbaim. I'm Rabbi Paul, your virtual rabbi, and you have found Beit Virtuali. This is a little unusual. This is different than what I usually do. But before I uploaded my first Parashat haShavua, my first weekly Torah, my first stirring Torah video for this year, I just wanted to explain a little bit about what I'm doing this year. Over the course of the last year, for each of the Jewish holidays, I posted an iterative process video, which is actually really hard to market because what the heck is that? It's the underlying idea that every holiday within Judaism has an essential or several essential questions that we can ask every year, and in the process of doing so, as we see that growth and change over time, right, as we're actively asking questions, we give ourselves an opportunity to not just sit passively within our religious traditions, but actually to actively work out the spiritual and practical truths that are contained within them. And if we do that, turn our religious narratives once again into something uplifting and positive, instead of what's happened over the last 150 years, that they are seen as something backward and silly. And so I've been writing these down in preparation to eventually publish them. And in the process of doing that, I've started doing the same thing for the various different Parshiot. In other words, as we go through the yearly Torah readings, is there also in Genesis and Parashat Bereshit, is there a question or a series of questions that we can ask to as well when we come around to Bereshit next year? Do the same thing. See if we are elevating ourselves, spiraling upwards, or are we spiraling downwards? And I've gone far enough into this that I realized, one, let's do an entire year on this one because I think it's important, because it's tangible and it's practical. Again, if Torah isn't something we can use to change our daily existence, to actually elevate ourselves, to heal the brokenness, then seriously, what's the point? Why are we even bothering? I do not like arbitrary tradition. I do not like arbitrary religion. If we're doing it just because we do have this idea in Judaism, when in doubt, perform the mitzvah. To me, that's an acknowledgement that at times we just don't have it in us, and we are encouraged nonetheless to move forward, hoping that something will come out of that we are able to shift forward, if nothing else by being around other people, maybe being lifted out of our loneliness and our brokenness and our traumas in that moment. But the other half of Judaism is saying, hey, without intentionality, the mitzvah itself is nothing. So what are practical, psychological, spiritual, tangible questions that we can ask today to truly work in the process of healing and elevating ourselves and each other? And this has become serious enough, and this is exciting because I've gone from saying to many of you, I would really like to have time to write, to actually finally writing, not just the book I just published, but this is what's coming out of this. So this will be a reflection of what we do this year, and it should be available right before the High Holy Days next year to capture a full year of those questions, which will then eventually be followed by a sequel focusing on the holidays. So as you watch the various stirring Torah videos for this year, there is a specific idea behind them, and that's to get us to engage, to ask questions, not passively listen, but to be in active dialogue with our tradition. And yes, I know to some of you I promised I would do a year of haShavua. That's going to be next year. So I haven't broken my promise. I have just simply delayed it a little bit. Anyway, that's it. Bereshit, first stirring Torah of the year, will be posted tomorrow, right before Shabbos my time. And we begin with those questions as we explore the big bang of our spirituality, the generative energy of creation in our lives, as well as even asking the question, why the heck are those silly genealogies in there? Did they have anything to do with my psychology, my spirituality, my ability to elevate myself and others? Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.